Alright guys, today we're playing Dungeon of Eden. It is a hack and slash game that you can play single player or co-op. We're just playing single player today. It came out on March 12th. Full controller support on Steam. Price wise, this game's relatively inexpensive at $7.99 Canadian. And kind of has a, we'll say, a Legend of Zelda feel to it. We'll see how this goes here. Now, the one thing that you will find in this game is it is very much a roguelike games and with permadeath. So basically what happens is we're trying to defeat 4 dungeons and then the final dungeon where there'll be a boss. The catch is that you only get 1 life. So you die, it's over, start all over again. You get to bring 1 thing back with you, which is random. So basically you want to accomplish whatever you can in your 1 run, which makes this game particularly difficult, or more difficult than you would expect. And you need to be a little more careful instead of just kind of bumbling through the game. So we're gonna play this. I'm using a Xbox One controller to control my guy here. You can also use keyboard, which I didn't try. The keyboard kind of controls are kind of not confusing, but I don't know if I do so well with them. There's also the opportunity to upgrade your equipment with your character in this game. So basically there's weapons and shields with stats that give you more damage and more range. Shields give you more defense. You can use them to block. And then there's weapons like this. We're going to buy the rust. Oh, I don't have enough money. We get the rusty sword here when we find some more gold, because it gives you better range, which basically means you get a better swing. Not as short as the stock weapon. The one thing I had trouble with playing this the first time was that some of the controls, you try them and they don't work. And reason being is you have to learn some of the skills. Like, for example, you can dash in this game, but you don't actually learn that until later on. You have to talk to a trainer first. So if you find that you can't do certain things kind of off the get-go, that's what the problem is. And I mean, I didn't figure that out until an hour or 2 into it, so I'm gonna guess a lot of people probably have that same problem where they don't quite see how it's supposed to work, and it's not like this game really explains it to you. I'm just gonna buy this and we're gonna get going. So we have to go to the first dungeon. If you ever want to remember the order of where you're supposed to go, this character here has it all set up for you. So we're gonna go to the Dark Pine dungeon first, which we marked on the map. We bought a pin, so it's over to the right of us. As you notice too, when I push pause here, the Y button for the stats. There's also your attack, defense, and speed, which you can increase by buying weapons, boots, and armor. There's also in the top corner there up by my heart gauge is basically charms you can get that change your abilities. So in my case, I picked one where slimes are my friends. So any screen where there's a slime, what'll happen is it will attack. Okay, we don't want to go in there. It will attack the other monsters, usually to the point where it ends up dying, but can be better than you taking damage yourself. So when you do take damage, you take it in fractional hearts, not full hearts. So unlike say a Legend of Zelda game where it would just be a full heart worth of damage, this you take a fraction, and you have to be very mindful of your life just because you only get to live once here. So if you die, it's dead, you start over. Which means you lose all your equipment, lose all your money, lose everything. So we're just looking for the dungeon here, which... not going the right way anyway. Okay, out of there. Alright, we'll actually go the right way here. So if you look at the map in the bottom right hand corner, it gives you an idea of where the doors are between areas. You can kind of figure out the map that way. Pretty much every place you go here will have some kind of creature in it. Some tougher than others. Mind, I don't see that creature there. And I'm poisoned right now, you don't want that. You know, it's already going well. I'm down to less than 2 parts. Okay, can't go in the fire field. It's interesting too, this game, some of the creatures remind me of Plants vs. Zombies. Like these plants here. Which, I mean... I think there'd be some legal implications of that. And we're dead. So what happens when you die here is you get to see how many enemies you killed, and you get to spin a wheel to see what items you get to keep, if anything. I mean, we get 20 gold. Not dumb. So what happens every time you either finish a dungeon or respawn as a new character? It regenerates the world, so there'll be new items, new map, new everything. And even between dungeons, it can get kind of crazy where you leave the dungeon and they regenerate the world. So every time you leave the dungeon, everything is different. Just a little bit different compared to other games of this style. I'll buy this splinter sword. Got the same 10 range as our other weapon had. And buy some armor here too. Grab some money. So to get over these fences, if you can't get through them, you just slash. Kind of slash through the fence. It's kind of goofy, but that's the way it works right now. Kind of makes it unpredictable and to get through them, but it's kind of cool you can do that, even though I'm sure it's not the way the game is intended to work. If you notice, our map has been all cleared. We don't have any money, basically anything that we had last time around. Come on, guy, get through the fence. Yeah, I guess it's a lost cause. Alright, let's regenerate. Every 4 rooms, you should get a new heart. It'll help us stay alive a little longer. Alright, so everything's new again. It's like we're playing the game for the first time, which can get pretty frustrating. And one of the tricks in this game is you kind of have to pay attention to the patterns of the creatures in there to stay alive as long as possible. Okay, so we're gonna go for this heart container, which, much like Legend of Zelda, the more hearts you have, the more damage you can take. So what we did was buy a pin on the map so that we can see exactly where we have to go. Up in the next room, wrong direction. Up in the next room here. So far I've seen all these heart places where you get heart containers. Looks all innocent like this, and you grab the heart container and then all of a sudden you're surrounded by some kind of slimes for whatever slimes are the slimes for the location you're in. You gotta be careful. It's particularly fun if you have the charm that makes slimes your friend. They end up all killing each other. First. So what we're trying to do here is try and find the dungeon somewhere here in this area. A lot of these treasure chests too, you just have to figure out how to get to them. Some of them are relatively easy, but a lot of times they might not work out the way you intend them to. But in these gold chests in these rooms, you need a key, which we don't have any at the moment. You can buy keys or find keys. Usually 25 gold if you buy them. And if you find them, it'll be in a room like this by killing a creature or enemy or whatever. Now watch for these. Those things exploded poison clouds, which never pans out well. One of the flaws with this game here is there's this plant in here that we can't see because of the log, but the logs never see through. It's very challenging to try and figure out where a creature might be. Oops. So unfortunately, a lot of times in this game, you have a lot of money, no life. There's quite a shortage of life-based items in this game. A lot of times where you could really use one and you can never find one. Like say me right now. If you're wondering, the blue bar up on the top there is for kind of skills, which we don't actually have any right now. You have to learn them first from a trainer, and there's one trainer per area. It's just a matter of finding them. They unlock abilities that make your character more powerful. So here we're using a key to open a chest, and we're getting 2 birds, 1 stone. So it's one of these charms that you can get. If you notice, there's only 2 slots that we have. Every dungeon you complete, you get an extra slot, which can give you more options in terms of customizing your character. But the way they work is you can't pick and choose which ones you get. They're just removed. As you get new ones, it just takes away the last one you got. Or the first one you got. So sometimes it's not the best to actually take them if you don't know what the ability is. Like for example, I took one where the ability got rid of my maps, both my mini map and my regular map, and it made the game about 1,000,000 times harder. You don't want to do those kind of things. Ideally, you want to only take ones that'll benefit you. And realistically, you can't always do that, but for that one, there's strength that lets you do more damage, but the trade-off being is we'd have to get rid of our regeneration skill, which right now I think that's probably the smarter one to keep. But if you look on the mini map too, there in the bottom right hand corner, they'll show you in red dots how many enemies are actually left. Once in a while, you get creatures that take care of themselves for you. Which seems kind of goofy too, but it's just the way the game plays out sometimes. Nice thing too, once you do clear out an area from having enemies, you don't actually have to worry about them again until the next playthrough, just because they don't respawn. Gives you more coins. Again, I don't want to trade the regeneration right now. Find the dungeon, maybe. I don't want to go in fire fields at all because we can't take the damage. But sometimes these games end up real easy where you find the dungeon right away, and then other times you end up like this where you can't find it for you. That does. Go left here. Sometimes this animation gets weird in this game. One of those with the X there is no something, and that's usually a bad thing. Try going straight up here. This dead end will be no. Find the dungeons. That'll be resist fire with the fireball there. Into this heart plate. Okay, and each area here has a shop as well, where you can get different weapons, armor, hearts. Probably gonna go with this. I'll go with the poison sword. Not. Buy a little better armor. dungeon. Hmm. Try and go in the bottom of this. Why? It's turn. Playing a game. There's no engine to speak of. Working. Sorry guys, here I don't usually ever have this kind of trouble fight. Dungeon. Back to town for a sec here. matter. Oh, let's start. Found the trainer. Trainer also has a place, a well that you can heal. Dungeon, buddy. Strange. Found it yet. There it is. Alright, we're here at Dungeon 1. It took way too long to get here. So even with dungeons, once you go into them, they generate the level, like they're not pre-generated. Which make things a little more interesting. In most cases, these rooms, you have to clear out the room before it unlocks. So this is the boss chest. We need a boss key, which we have not found. Keep looking, but at least we know where the boss is. This room was a dead end. There's the boss key in the middle of the room. Just have to run over these spike traps and not get hit. So far, every time I played the first dungeon, this is exactly the kind of room that the boss key is in. I don't think there's any variety as much as they're generated randomly or semi-randomly. Not necessarily. We're just going to clean this out to get as much money as possible. When the world respawns, we can buy as much equipment as possible. I think that's about it. Alright, so we'll go fight the boss here. So you get a treasure. So in this case, we get eagle eyes that we can see through the mist. That was it. So some of these boss fights are especially easy if you have the right equipped weapon, and then basically jump on the teleporter and it respawns the entire world. It respawns items in town. Basically everything. And I guess we break one seal on the door to the final dungeon. Now it's time to move on to the second dungeon. So we want to find Eric, which is the desert. If you notice, the weapons here have changed. Sandy sword I tried, it wasn't very good. But it's always good to look and see if you can find better armor. Boots, because you might as well spend your money considering you don't get to keep it. Runs, you can also buy health if you need it. I'm gonna buy a key, just fun. Also good to look at it's relics. You might do one. So you notice we have one empty slot right now. Try that. Burns enemies on contact. Perfect. Oh, so there's another item that you don't want. Mighty boots. Slow. We'll buy these pins so we can see on the map where these other dungeons are. Take fire damage, but we dish out fire damage. Alright. So we're trying to find dungeon, which is for in the sand. Head out of town. We're actually going to go for the heart container right off the get-go here. Okay, so you gotta be careful in the desert of the cactuses because they're sharp and they'll hurt you. Faster. A similar layout here in the second area for the heart. You notice if we walk in the sand here, we get this snail top of our head, which basically means we're slowed down. And large health orb because we don't want that right now. Alright, Dungeon 2. Similar idea to last time, we're looking for the dungeon key. Just every one of these dungeons has slightly different enemies. Match the area. The nice thing too, once you clear out the room, most of the traps, except for the little spike traps, stop operating, so boss room. Watch out for rooms like this too. All of a sudden it becomes faster. Launchers can also die from using the traps too, or being hit by the traps. Want that with the axe. No map one. No, what the? Alright, let's just go fight the bots here. So if you notice here, I'm doing fire damage and poison damage. So we'll finish this boss. Here anyway. Alright, so you notice we got one more slot for charms, and we can hit the portal here and go back to town. And then there goes another portal. Seal, gone. So I'm going to stop there. So this has been Dungeon of Eyden. You can find on Steam. It's a single or co-op game experience. And price-wise, it's relatively inexpensive at $8 Canadian. This came out just recently on March 12th. And it is actually a lot of fun. It's only been, I guess this game plays just under an hour. And we finished basically half of the dungeons. It can be a lot quicker. Like, I had a lot of troubles this playthrough here just finding the dungeon. If you find it a little quicker, or if one of the pins comes up that you can buy where it actually pins it on the map, it makes the game a lot quicker. So if you've played this game, let me know in the comment section below. And otherwise, thank you for watching today. We'll catch you in the next video.